Good afternoon, everyone. This is Linda with Linda Sue Plants for you. I want to thank you all for joining me today, and please forgive me if I'm clearing my throat a lot. It's part of something that I have no control over, unfortunately, so I'll do the best I can today. I want to repot these plants. Well, I have to repot these plants today. Should have really probably been done yesterday, although, Logee sends this beautiful colored pamphlet type, I don't know what you would call it, a sheet of directions with a timeline. And they actually suggest that we don't do this until the 10th day. And I know the reasons behind that, and I understand it, and I guess maybe to be on the safe side, that is the best way to make sure that there's no problems with the plant and no bugs. And they do, by the way, they guarantee their plants for, it's either 60 or 90 days. I think it's, well, I'm going to say 90, but it might be 60, but it's one of those two. And I apologize, I should have brought the sheet with me for this. But I was really surprised at that, because I know that we as plant moms and dads can do a lot of damage to a plant in 60 days. So I was really surprised to see that that was such a wonderful guarantee. And at the end of that, it said something about either replacing the plant or giving a refund or a credit. So they're willing to work with people. And so far, I have to say, I've never ordered from them before, but I really do like the service that I've received so far. And for those of you that watched me do the unboxing on these, this is my Begonia Maculata woodii that I have been longing for nearly 2 years. I've been trying to get this plant, and for various reasons I missed out, but the good news is I have it now, and it came very nicely wrapped. I'm going to just show you this a little closer. I know most people, when they do unboxings, they take all this off that first day, and I probably should have done that, but I don't know. I was just very excited, and I had a lot going on, so it was okay to be in this another day. It didn't hurt anything. But as you can see, it was very nicely packaged, and then it had the big white paper around it to keep it from getting broken. But look, I mean, there was no dirt anywhere from these, so I'm very, very pleased with Logee's, and I will definitely order from them again. And you know, when I ordered it and they said it was in this size pot, I ordered two because I was not expecting it to be this big. I was pleasantly surprised and very excited when I got it. I was questioning the color, and since then I've done some more research and found out that, yep, if I just get it repotted and get her in some bright light, that color will deepen. So yay for that. Alright, so I'm going to just, as I said in my last video, I've got a lot of repotting to do. I'm not going to do that all in one day, in one video. It would take hours and hours. But I thought I would at least do these because most of you shared in my excitement of my unboxing. And those of you who know me know that I think I've only received 3 or 4 packages in the mail. 2 of those were from Susie, from Suzette's Gardens. Her and I are very close friends, so she, for gifts for me, she has sent me 2 huge boxes of plants. And I was so appreciative of that, and I still have most of them. I lost 1 or 2, but I still have most of them. And the other 2, one was from, gosh, you know what, I don't remember. That was 2 years ago, and that was my first thing that I ever ordered through the mail, and it was a Monstera cutting, and it cost me $30. And it was Monstera deliciosa, nothing, you know, crazy, not variegated, not, you know, nothing. And it took me a while to get it, and when I did get it, it didn't look real health. I was worried that it was going to die, and it almost did. I nursed that thing for months and months, and I finally got it to take hold. It rooted, but it wouldn't grow, it wouldn't perk up, it was falling over. I really thought it was going to die. Finally, it did take hold, and you have all seen that. It's in my living room. That is the one that the top leaves are huge. They're like huge. They're I don't know if you could get this all in the camera, but they're very, very big. But from about the middle of the plant down is bare. So when I was at Stein's Garden Center the other day, I got this, and I'm going to be putting that in that pot, but not today. So today we're going to work on my Begonia Maculata Whittii. That's, and some people say whitey eye. I'm not sure which is the correct pronunciation, and you know me, it's not important to me. I do have to say I very much appreciate people who take the time to put the botanical names of plants on their videos, only because for those of us that if we fall in love with a plant that you have and we don't understand what you're saying, if you put it on the in writing, then we can write it down and we can look it up and get our own plant. But the other side of that is you can always ask me in the comments section, and I'm more than happy to do the research and get that for you. There is one person, well, there's many, but the one that I see a lot is Nick Pileggi. He just astonishes me some days. In fact, I have to really be in a quieted mood to be able to watch him, because he's so fast. He's young, he's energetic, he's full of vip and vinegar, and he just rattles up those plant names like they're his kids. And I do appreciate that. I appreciate hearing those names, and the more that I hear them, the more familiar I get. So, and a lot of plants that we have today are plants we didn't even have 2 years ago. So it's nice to know that. So thanks, Nick, for doing that. But I'm not one of those people. I'm very bad at editing, folks. I'm working on it, but it takes me forever just to get a word in there. And so I don't want to mess with that right now. But I know most of you who watch my videos don't really care, so I'm very grateful for that. Okay, these I'm going to put, and you know, I really don't like plastic. I don't like plastic. I love terracotta. But one of the things that's happening here is I am going through an awful lot of distilled water because my terracotta is breathable, and it dries out much quicker than plastic. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm thinking about maybe painting part of the terracotta pot. However, I love the color of the terracotta, so I don't really want to do that. But I'm tossing things around in my mind, trying to figure out what's going to make me happy in the long run. You know, what's going to fit in my decor, and are my plants going to be happy, and is it going to be feasible for me monetarily? Because and besides the money, you know, my husband is the one that has to carry these cases of water in the house, and he's not getting any younger. So I feel bad for him, I guess is where I'm getting at. So I got to come up with some way. But anyways, this is a bamboo, I don't know what you'd call it, U-shaped trellis. And I'm going to use this, I'm going to try and use this, hopefully it'll stand, for my maculatas. And some of you are going to say, well, gee, that's awful tall. But these grow very fast. Most cane begonia, well, most begonias, period, grow very fast. At least that's been my experience. So I am going to start with these, and I'm going to put these in first. I'm going to put some soil in here. And this mixture is what I normally use. It's pretty light. I mean, it's an organic soil mix. I think black gold it's called. And perlite and cocoa coir and some orchid bark and some worm castings. And I think that's it on this one. Sometimes I put in the horticultural charcoal. And I did that with some of my calatheas, and they seem to like it. And I have some of those that have to be repotted too, so maybe I'll do that when I repot those. I'm not sure. Okay. How are you all doing this weekend, people? It's a beautiful day here in Wisconsin. The sun is shining. The sky is blue, and it's near 50 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be in the 60s. I can't wait. And my hubby's working today, but he will be home tomorrow. So I will be able to get outside, and I mean, I can go out now and sit on my porch. But I'd like to walk around the yard and things, and I can't do that without his assistance, so I have to wait. But that's okay. Tomorrow's going to be beautiful. Alright, and I'm not going to mess too much with the roots on these because I'm not sure what they look like. I don't know how long these have been. Oh, there's some coming out the bottom. So it's got a good root structure. I'm not going to spread it apart or move it around too much. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and today I'm just feeling like that's not a good thing to do. So we're going to push that down in there, and I'm going to add some dirt. I think I'm actually going to tie these up before I add the dirt. And these are just regular twist ties that I got a whole drawer full of these. They're paper coated, paper plastic coated wire from years of, I don't know, garbage bags and things that we've had over the years. I use all kinds of things to tie them up. I like the twist ties because they're easily adjustable. My favorite thing to use is the garden Velcro, and I usually use those on my tomatoes. And I do have a roll of that somewhere, but I'll be darned if I can locate it. I've been looking for it all winter. I don't know where it ended up. It'll probably show up this summer. But in the meantime, thank goodness for the guy or gal who invented these twist ties, because I use them for everything. The other thing that I use on bigger plants that I should mention that worked out real well for me over the years is elastic. And I tie it in a bow. The only thing I don't like is most of my elastic is white or cream colored. But if you can get black elastic, folks, really, you know, you don't want to go to a fabric store to buy that because it's not cheap. But most of mine I got at estate sales, and what I like about it is that you tie it in a bow so that you can easily untie it, but you can make it fairly taut, and it doesn't cut into your plant, and it gives when your plant gives. And the reason I started using that is on my big golden pothos that I have in my living room. You all saw that on the last video. That plant was growing pretty quickly, and I really wasn't keeping up with it very well as far as, I put 3 bamboo sticks in there, and tall ones. They're probably 7, 8 feet tall. And as the plant was growing, it was growing in between the the sticks. And some of them grew outside of the sticks, and it was choking off the ones that were in between the sticks, and I didn't notice it. Well, when I finally did notice it, I cut the ties off that I had on it, and I replaced them with the elastic, and that solved my problem. Because the plant is fairly full, and although I look at it almost daily and I water it, you know, frequently, I don't necessarily look over that plant from head to toe every time I buy it. So it did get away from me, and I felt so bad for that plant. It was like choking it to death. I did catch it in time though, thank goodness. Okay. And I think this is gonna probably be good enough the way I have this here for now. You can see there's new leaves already coming through here. New shoots, and down in the bottom too. So these are very healthy. And actually, if you want to see a good video, Logee's has a video just on these. And they had tables full of them. And if this is a plant that you really like, you would like that video. It talks about the care and the propagation and how they do it. And you know what? I got exactly what they promised. So shout out for Logee's. Like I say, I will definitely order from them again. Okay. A little more dirt. I did it again, didn't I? Called it dirt. Oh well. Y'all are just going to have to get used to that, because, you know, I've had a few times, it's been a while, but I've had a few people correct me on that, and actually got kind of mad at me for calling it dirt instead of soil. And if you're one of those people that is a real stickler about that, I'm sorry, but it just comes out. I've been calling it dirt all my life. And honestly, when I was a little girl, now I'm going down my side road again. When I was a little girl, my grandma lived a block away, and her and I were very, very close. And she was as sweet as the day is long. I actually miss her very much some days. And she came over from Germany as an adult and became a citizen. And my grandpa worked at L's Chalmers. In fact, he came over early, got a job, saved for a house, built a brand new house, and then sent for my grandma. And for his two daughters, from a previous marriage, his first wife had died. And I thought that was a very commendable story for on both of their parts. But anyway, she used to say to me, "Oh, honey, if it was a Sunday and it was after church, she'd say, you better go home and change your clothes. You daresn't soil your Sunday clothes," she used to say. And I'll never forget that. You know, she used the word soil in place of getting your clothes dirty. So I think those two terms are interchangeable, don't you? And honestly, does it matter? In the scheme of things of life, does it matter? All right, here we go. So that's that. And now these two plants are both from Suzette, from Suzette's garden. I can call her Susie because we're close friends. I don't know if she wants me putting that over the internet, and if not, I apologize, but it just comes out. Okay. Now, I have this in a plastic pot that's the color of terracotta, and this one is sort of, so this is what we're doing here. And I'm going to put this in a little bit bigger pot than I normally would. I don't usually go that much bigger, but I know this plant's going to be okay in here, so I'm going to do that, and that will only take a few moments. And remember, I always start out with a clean pot. So if you see any residue on the side, that's just something that doesn't come off, because I wash my pots with scrubbies before I put them away, and then again rinse them out to make sure there's no critters or anything, because I do store most of my empty pots on my back porch, and that's not enclosed, so I have to be careful what I bring in here. And so far I've been pretty fortunate. I'm just using my hands. I love getting my hands in the soil. I used to love playing in the dirt with my brother. We used to play Army Soldier. That was back in the Vietnam days, you know. I'm aging myself. But everybody, the kids got G.I. Joes. The boys got G.I. Joes. And I was always envious of them because I wanted my own G.I. Joe. And I used to love to play in the mud. And some of us girls just did. I liked playing with my Barbies too, but I like being with my brother. Okay. Now there were some roots coming up way up high here, so I'm bringing this soil level a little higher than normal. I'm not sure that I need to do that, but it just feels like the right thing to do. And that's kind of how my life rolls. If it feels right, usually it is. So when I get a bad feeling about something, I'm usually right about that too. So, all right, here we go. That's that one. And this is another one I got from Suzette. This is the one she kind of giggled when she saw me repotting it, what, a week ago I think it was. Because I wasn't sure if I should, it was in a smaller pot. It was in a smaller pot, about half this size. And I didn't want to go from that to this. So I put it in here, and then I put it in here. And then when Suzette called, she was kind of giggling. She said, honey, you could have put that in the bigger one. Actually, she said, you should have put it in the bigger one, because she said, that's a very, very fast-growing plant, and it's going to outgrow that pot in a very short period of time. Well, she was right. She's almost always right when it comes to plants, anyway. Almost always. Okay, so we're going to put it in here. I'm not washing this out because it's fairly clean, and I just put these in here. The water's still coming out. I just put this in here a week and a half ago maybe. So I'm not going to worry about that. This is Moses in the Cradle. It's also called boat lily. What's the other name? Doggone it. I have a brain cramp. Well, maybe I'll think of it later. Okay, and I'm going to put this in here. I think I'm going to take this off. Get it out of my way. Because these are very stiff leaves, and I don't want them to break. I don't want to snap them. How many times have I sat down to do this and had to get back up to get my knife because I didn't bring it the first place? You would think a person would learn after a couple of times. Oh, and look at, see what I just did? Now that makes me sad. Oh boy. That makes me very sad. Ooh. That's why I took the hook off, because I didn't want to take a chance. Alright, I gotta concentrate here, folks, because I don't want to do that again. Ooh, something about living things that I cannot stand to see them hurt, whether it's an animal or a plant. I don't know, it just does something to me. Okay, come on. Please, please come out. There we go. Ah, thank goodness. Oh boy, was she right. Look at the roots. Wow, look at the roots. They are spreading fast. Well, my friend, you were right once again. In fact, knowing what I know now, I probably could have even went one pot, one size larger, but you know, that's alright. We'll do this for now. Now I gotta use my scooper so I don't break off those leaves. Helps me to get underneath them a little better. This is such good therapy for me. I really love playing in the dirt and seeing my plants grow and thrive, and knowing that I'm helping in that process, it just makes you feel good. It's kind of like when you're raising your children and as they're growing up and they do things that you're proud of them for, it's kind of like that same feeling. And sometimes we're not so proud. But we've all been there. I know I sure did some things that my mom and dad were not so proud of, nor was I as I got older and realized what a dumb thing that was to do. But we learn. And then when we get older, we want our kids to just have the same knowledge we have, and we got to remind ourselves that, you know, they don't have the life experience that we have. They're not going to look at things the way we do. So we have to try to remember that, and we have to try to teach them without being judgmental, I guess. Alright. I think that's good, huh? Does that look okay? It looks like there's another leaf that's just hanging on there, but she's still green, and I'm not going to pull her off. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, where is it? It's right here. Can you see it? She's barely hanging on. But I'm not going to take it off. Alright, we're going to hang her back up. As nice as she looks in this pot, she's going to be a hanging plant eventually. And so I figure I might as well put her in there right away. And I got her in my east window, in case anybody's wondering. It's a beautiful plant. This is a new kind of plant hanger. I've never had one like this before. It's got like a lip on the, kind of a tab on the outside, and the pot is actually pre-dented, and I don't know if you can see that, but I've never seen a plant like that. And now I got all that dirt down in here. I don't know if this comes off. said, I've never had this kind of pot before. I think I'm just going to scrape that out because I don't know if I get that off, if I can reattach it. And then this pot will be useless for hanging if that turns out to be the case. So I'll just get that dirt out of there. Eventually I'm going to overwater it and it's going to all spill out onto my shelf anyway, because that's what I do. I don't overwater as far as making it you know, too wet too often, but when I water, it seems to come flying out of the spout and it pushes the dirt all over and I make a mess. Alright, so there she is. And I have one more that I'm going to do today, and that is my begonia. And this one is also from Logee's, and also wrapped very nicely, as you can see. This stuff is kind of a waxy paper, which is good because then it doesn't fall apart and shred apart. Maybe I should save that in case I ever want to send a plant in through the mail. Maybe I should use this. I wonder what this is. Maybe I can purchase this from Logee's in bulk. We'll see. Alright, this one is called Begonia Desert Dream. When I saw this, if I had seen just this, I probably wouldn't have ordered it. But I saw the big piece of it, and it was absolutely gorgeous. The colors, and I tend to go more for the maroon and the burgundies, wine colored. But this one was so bright. It was yellow and bright orange and gold and a little bit of red, but mostly the gold tones. And it was, like I said, it was out of this world beautiful. So I just had to have it. Now I'm a begonia person, and I've come to appreciate the cane begonias over the Rex, only because they take up so much room width-wise, and let's face it, I am running out of room. So I'm not really purchasing a lot of the Rex in the Rex family anymore, just for that reason. But and I may even end up giving a couple to my girls down the road, but I did want to see what this one would look like in my house. So, and I actually this is the one I brought in, and this is the one I want to use. It's not much bigger, but like I said, until I get to know the plant, I really don't like to go a whole lot bigger until I know what's going on with it, because you can overpot a plant real easily. If you underpot it, you can always go up a size, but if you overpot it, you can kill it with overwater. And the reason for that is if you've got a lot of soil. Now this one I can see has roots here. You may not be able to see that on camera, but I can see it. And what I'm looking at here is I think I got a perfect size pot right now. This may need to be repotted again in the very near future, but for now, I'm good with this. Well, I may have to eat my words because this isn't going to fit all the way down in there. And well, I think it'll be okay. It might be okay. The thing that you have to be careful with these, folks, is if you overpot a plant and you have too much soil in there, the roots can only take up so much water. The plant only needs so much water. And once the roots take up the water, fills up the plant, and the roots are full of water, what's going to happen? If that soil all around it, and there's a lot of it, and it's still wet, those roots are going to rot. If you have a little soil around it, it's better. It might dry out, but better that it dries out and you add more water, right? Because otherwise, usually when that happens, the damage is usually done before you even see it on top. So that's really the reason why people always say don't go too big with your repotting. I actually think this could go in a little bit bigger pot, but the ones I'm looking at on my table are not a little bigger, they're quite a bit bigger. So I'm just going to finish this up here today. And I may end up repotting this in a week or two, but that's okay. It's alright for now. She's got a little room to spread out here. Definitely needed to get out of the pot she was in, but I can see I could have, yeah, I definitely could have went a little bit bigger, but it's alright. I love repotting, so it's not a big deal. Like I said, I'll keep an eye on her, and if she's drying out way too fast, I can get her in a different pot. Okay. Alright, folks, I think that's going to do it for today. I do have some other, like I said, to repot, but I'm not going to do all that today. I've had a pretty busy week here. I have been feeling really good for 7. Today would be the 8th day. And everybody told me don't overdo it, and I didn't think I was, but I think I might have a little bit yesterday. I was able to do things I haven't been able to do in a year, over a year. So yeah, I was busy. So today I want to try and take it a little easy and get my strength back, and so that I can continue to bring you videos from Linda Sue Plants for you. And if those of you who are my weekly or daily friends, if you like this video, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And for those of you that have never seen my videos before, I said yesterday, I know I have over 90 videos now. So please feel free to look back on them, and if you like what you see, then you might want to subscribe so you don't miss out on the future ones. Okay? Other than that, I hope you all have a great weekend. Today is Saturday afternoon, so there's still a lot of weekend left. Go out and enjoy it, and we'll see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.
By golly, I think you got it.